you see.
Yeah, Yukis, we know how dangerous he can be, and in the right situation, I would be very nervous if I am Canyons. We are underway in game number 1, with Shamway looking to set one up for Stake, but Emery will intercept. Going to be very important to get off to a quick start against this Canyon squad. We've seen that they can come back from any deficit, so if they get the upper hand early, so much more comfortable they seem to be, as Yukis now will find Atomic, and that's going to be blocked away.
Yeah, beautiful first opportunities coming out here from our bubble scene team, Emery, Yukis, and of course Atomic working to the best of their ability, but right now we see opportunities going to waste from, of course, the side of the Canyons. That's something they should not do, but now we see once again Yukis able to take control of their ball, something they do splendidly, and they have done in the past as well, so they're trying to keep up that pressure and get that first goal.
Talk trying to get over top of Atomic. No, Shamway didn't get a lot of power behind the shot, and Emery there for the save. Yukis trying to get out of the zone. Doesn't have a lot of support going downfield. Emery and Atomic and communicating with each other. It looks like which one's supposed to go. Neither does. So now Shamway will get one across field to Tox. Tox has another opportunity to set one up. It does seem like Canyon's just moving a lot faster. Seems like they have the boost control figured out here, as Shamway does overshoot his mark there, and he'll have to come all the way back to his own corner.
Well, they are, of course, going back and forth. Sank, you said it before. They have the control, they have the opportunities, but right there we had an opportunity for, of course, Magnifico with a beautiful clear, almost going in from the higher grounds, you could say, as the Canyons are, of course, trying to launch some opportunities. We see an opportunity going wide once again, but the crossbar is something that most Rocket League players hate, and even at this level, we can say that it's a real threat.
Tox pinch in front, and that's blocked away by Emery. Stake on his horse to battle Yukis, and he does get there to clear it away. Now Atomic has Emery waiting, but Emery's looking for boost, finding none over on the far side. So now Emery will try his luck with not a lot to work with, and he's still got by Stake.
What a beautiful start, Stax. This is just incredible. Look at that solo control for Emery. He realized that the defender was going up. Immediately, no, I don't have to touch this at all. Dropped it right underneath, and that's a 1-0. Our Magnifico team are playing magnificent with a 1-goal difference in game 1 already.
Could be Destiny's team here in this qualifier. Stake trying to return the favor. Setting up Shamway. No. Tox on his way. Blocked by Atomic. And now Emery looking for Yukis, but that will be sent right back from whence it came.
I'll send right back. We now have Yukis down to Atomic. The passing place coming, and it's fine. Instead, it's Emery making it 2-0. Oh, what a start for Magnifico.
And this is a Magnifico play as well. Atomic backboard, nobody there to defend it. Tox in no man's land. Emery having a game early on.
Well, 2 minutes and 19 seconds remaining. The Canyons, of course, will have to come back strong. Magnifico are stronger at the moment, but that's another opportunity. Atomic just makes it 3-0, and Emery, of course, created that opportunity through a beautiful bump.
He sure did, and yeah, that bump right there on Stake. It looked like an easy clear, but you always have to account for somebody sweeping across the goal line, wreaking havoc in front of the net. Tox trying to play around Yukis, and Yukis having none of it. Atomic as well. It is all Magnifico in the first 3 minutes of game 1.
Well, we of course have 2 minutes remaining, or 1 minute and 50 seconds for that matter, where we have an opportunity created by Tox. Sadly gone wide, and now Atomic is trying to find that 50, find that challenge, and he does it splendidly, but it is Stake and Zamu that take control. That's a shot on target, but Emery is able to clear it to the side, and the Magnifico side is just able to, hold their defense down tightly, not letting the Canyons penetrate that defense whatsoever.
The beauty of a tournament like this is it's all about opportunity, a chance to see new faces go up against the established guard, and this Magnifico squad already taking out Oxygen, the top-seeded team in this qualifier, and a chance now to take out what probably should have been an RLCS team by now, but Tox will finally score, and there is plenty of time. We've seen this team, Wolf, make a lot of comebacks, even from a situation like this.
Well, 1 minute and 9 seconds might be enough, Stax. That's, of course, a good question, but right there, we're talking about the opportunity created by the Canyons, and that was definitely nice. We had a double commit on the side from Magnifico, and that was all what made it possible, because we only had one defender. And talking about that one defender, it is very hard in that situation to defend against two people. But right now, the defense is being tested once again. We have Amri trying to get a good challenge, good 15 right there, but the ball going forward once again. So it is really the pressure from the Canyons that is just piling up right now on Magnifico.
Yukis gonna steal some boost out of the corner, and Atomic Shot is gonna pinball around and in.
This is just insane, Stax. Like, right there, split decision from Atomic to realize where to put it. Defense still trying to get a touch, and they're putting it in their own net. That's sad to see that going game one, but it scores 4-1. Maybe this game one might be over already, but it is definitely very important for the Kenyans right now to get that momentum, get that speed going for game two, and try and outpace Magnifico.
Magnifico closing in, 25 seconds away. That save right there will extinguish any hope, perhaps, that Canyons had of a miraculous comeback in game number one. And now the Canyons, it's almost like their worst nightmare realized when they look at the bracket and think, okay, we're probably going to face Oxygen, right? So you prepare for that matchup mentally, and then all of a sudden, you're up against a very different team, a team that's got absolutely nothing to lose. This is their world championship, in a sense, for a team like Magnifico, and they are showing up and passing every test in front of them with flying colors so far. 1-0 to Magnifico.
And it was a very convincing one of 4 goals for Magnifico, and we saw the mechanical prowess from this team standing out clearly above the Canyons. Like, they are bringing in new ways to score goals, and they're very effective. That's something very nice to see. And the Canyons will have to find one way or another to try and defend against Magnifico, because otherwise this will go in a sweep fashion.
And Stake is wisely going to take his time just to talk to his team here and just get everybody settled down. This is a situation for Canyons now where, again, we've seen them in this spot so many times. They always went to Game 5 throughout the previous Rival Series season. They are no strangers to having to play a long series against teams that, again, they're expected to beat on paper, but eventually you get into a bracket situation like this, it just feels a little bit different. The pressure is a little bit different. Yes, you have another opportunity if you go down to the lower bracket, but it is a lot different from being in a league play environment, as Emre will start things off now for Magnifico, looking for Yukis, and almost getting there was Yukis past Stake. Now Atomic. Good backboard defense by the former Espanyol squad.
Well, defense is something very important, but of course we've seen that Magnifico can lay up quite some offensive power, and right now Emery has to do some defense himself, does get a good clear, but Stake able to find that ball, send it back to the middle, and that's something they've been doing so well. And Magnifico is also very good at that passing point. We see it every time, over and over again. Every time they try and make a play, it comes from either a beautiful passing play, a mechanical outplay, or just some pinpoint precision.
That was a dangerous spot for Canyons after a whiff by Stake, but he's got control now out of the corner. This will fall to Atomic. Tox is waiting, but he had his back to Atomic, and it creates an impossible situation in front of the net. Yukis will score, and Magnifico strike first again.
We're talking about that mechanical prowess going out from Magnifico, and right there, Atomic just getting that pinch, sending it into Yukis. Like, that pinpoint precision from a pinch from the back wall is just insane, Stax. That's some control that you have to train him for hours and hours and hours, and some people might not even master it in a lifetime, and these guys are just pulling it off like it's nothing. Emery just getting that backboard read, trying to get it down to Yukis and not able to find it. That was a beautiful opportunity, almost going in again, and that would have meant that Magnifico were leading with 2.
The winner of this, again, gets the winner of Endpoint and BDS. We saw Endpoint push to the limits earlier, but they're up a game over BDS. We'll keep you updated. That match goes on over on the French stream with Rocket Baguette. This will be Steak playing the ball to his own corner, trying to keep control away from Magnifico, but an intercept there forces Tox back to his own net. Now Yukis throwing one up high. Jamway whipped on it, and atomic shot just barely deflected by Steak.
Deflections going in their way. We now have opportunities, of course, created by Magnifico, but that's an open that the Canyons have found their way to strike back with a far clear to make it 1-1.
Yeah, Emre got a little too greedy, stealing some boost down in the corner. Atomic came up a little too far. Nobody home to guard the back door in this game, all tied up as Canyons look to battle back. You can't let them get any momentum. As Atomic will throw one to his own corner, trying to find a teammate downfield. It'll be Yukis with a bomb, and Steak barely getting a piece of that ball above the crossbar. But now Emre coming on, another whiff, has almost conceded a goal, and now they will. This is not the Canyons we're used to seeing on defense.
Well, you might not be used to them, but they are forcing those awkward positions. There's, of course, Magnifico piling up that pressure time after time after time again. And right now we saw it again. One shot coming out from Atomic when blocked. Now Amri trying to get another shot. Two defenders committing for it, and now it's an open up for Amri. He's not going to miss that, and Yukis was able to score that goal, of course.
Steak trying to play 1v1 past Emre, but he's out of boost, so Yukis will take over. All Tox can do is pop this up. They've given possession away yet again, but Magnifico can't hold on. They'll have to retreat. Now Steak looking for Shamway. Couldn't quite find him. Yukis coming on, waiting for Atomic to make a play, but Tox is there to pick his pocket. Looking to center, and Yukis just got in front of this. Now Yukis against Shamway. Got there first, but Steak will be back. And despite the demo on Tox, Canyons seem okay for now on the defensive end.
Well, okay, on the defensive end, we now have a breakthrough from the Canyon. Samuel always trying to take it by himself, and there's Atomic stepping in just in time, playing that ball to the side now from Steak as he's struggling to defend it. And it's definitely the Canyons that are trying to get that ball cleared away, to get back into defensive position, to get enough boost, to get that opportunity, and that's an opportunity wide, almost going in once again. Beautiful combination right there, and Sawi and Steak both missing.
That has to be a goal for Canyons. You cannot expect to win in a tournament setting like this and miss those opportunities. That one could come back to haunt them if they don't equalize in the next minute. Steak over one for Shamway. He'll take it himself, and it's going to be blocked away by Emre. They could not get the bump at the net. That time they do. Open net for Shamway, and he missed it off the crossbar. Steak will try, and he pulled the string to get it by.
Well, we were talking about piling up pressure and time again, and here it is again. Canyons just showing that they can do it as well. Of course, Zamri getting that crossbar here should have been in from the start, but luckily he had his teammate right there to get it in. And Steak, of course, very happy with that goal. Misa equalized once again, and he's now trying to follow up from Zamri once again. He tries to get a touch to the middle. There he is, does get a beautiful bump on Atomic, but sadly enough, no other goal for the Canyons.
Canyons a little fortunate not to have given up a goal there, though, after Tox could not connect because he and Shamway both ended up inside the net. Now Emre and Shamway both go by the ball, so it'll be Atomic to take over. Overtime not a guarantee just yet, trying to flop around like a fish and throw off Steak. The last defender up to the task. Now Tox with control on his own backboard, got around one, paid the price as he demos with Emre. And Shamway will clear this away. Steak, one last chance in regulation. That's going to be well wide, and we will go to OT.
Well, game two, the first OT of the series, and both teams have been strong. First game was, of course, a very confident win, and that's a confident win by a beautiful passing play from Zamui and Steak.
Yeah, this is fantastic from Zamui. Just one little touch there after Yukis missed. And you could probably attribute every single goal to a really bad miss on the defensive end, except maybe one of those goals. So I think one of the Magnifico goals was a really good-looking goal, but Canyons survived that game, and it's going to go a long way towards them perhaps surviving in this series, Wolf.
Oh, that was, of course, a beautiful comeback. Of course, that was a solid performance from both teams. Magnifico definitely did want that game to win. Didn't go their way, but, you know, you can't take everything, Stax. You gotta sometimes have your sour lemons to bite in. And this time around, it was, of course, Magnifico dealt that sour lemon.
And now for the Magnifico squad, they have to come back after a game that they have to had to have felt really good about up until that final minute. But the way they gave up the game-tying goal, the way they gave up that overtime winner for Canyons, that's got to be difficult to come back from. And now we're going to learn a lot about the mental fortitude, I think, of this Magnifico squad.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be important to see how Magnifico bounces back from this. Of course, the Canyons definitely did step up their play. They went a little bit more physical, and Magnifico wasn't, of course, on the receiving end. Did not like it all too much. But now the real question is, Stax, how will they improve? How will they step up and show us that they are worthy of being in the actual spring series? Because, of course, you are fighting RCS contending teams. These guys know how to adapt mid-series, and to be at that level, you have to show that you can do it as well.
We are going to take just an extra moment here, make sure we've got all the players in our lobby ready to go, make sure everybody's on a level playing field, especially in a matchup this important with so much on the line. They are one match away from a qualifying match into this weekend's main event. So we want to make sure we get all the players in. We appreciate your patience. Again, Stax alongside StealthyWoolf. We are in our second to last match in the upper bracket here, the winners quarterfinal on the bracket. If you're following along on Smash.gg, Magnifico and Canyons tied at a game apiece. You've got Endpoint and BDS playing over on Rocket Baguette. They are 2-0 to Endpoint right now with about half of game 3 gone. So Endpoint closing in on a win and in spot as well. They will get the winner of this. Elsewhere in the bracket, you've got the Clappers and Solary and Singularity and AS Monaco. A star-studded bracket as we get deep into the upper bracket here.
Well, of course, getting further and further to that point. And we have a lobby backup once again. Magnifico, of course, do want that game 3. Sometimes game 2 doesn't go your way, but you will not leave it and let it shift your entire momentum of your team. And with that response, we now have Atomic already getting it past one, tries to get a flip reset, but Tox immediately says, no, we're not having this, and is able to clear it to the side.
So game 3, after that little delay, after an overtime winner, a comeback win for Canyons. Magnifico has scored first in every game so far in this series, and they've scored very early in those first 2 games. Yukis will drop one off to Emery as Canyons look to change their early game fortunes. Zamway to the ceiling shot, blocked away, but Stake is there on the doorstep for the rebound.
Yeah, we were talking about how defense needs to be strung through and through. No double commits allowed, and there was a double commit from Yukis and Emery, going, of course, to the side from the Canyons to get a free shot, and they, of course, are not going to miss it. It's now a 1-goal deficit. Atomic will have to respond. Does play it slow, gets it past Samuel, not trying to get it solo. Gets a good 50 with Stake. Yukis and Emery both up once again. Those double commits really have to stop if they want to make a chance.
Yeah, double commits on the defensive end in front of your own net. They're not the worst thing in the world, but at midfield, they can be deadly because now you've got 2 completely out of position as Tox will make that stop there. Almost on the defensive side, it's a necessary evil with the way the game is played now over the past year or so. Demos and bumps being so prevalent, you have to have 2 ready to go along the goal line as Emery will throw one downfield. Tox and Stake will communicate, and Stake will take over. There's a bump from Emery. Samway is to wait at the net, but Yukis got nothing behind the shot, so Samway can clear away.
Yeah, the confidence as well from Zamway right there. Just taking his time, realizing I don't have to move. I will only act the moment the shot goes. And Emery is doing the exact same, but Atomic was in a tight spot, had to play it to the side because he realized that the Canyons were already lurking in front of the net, trying to get yet another goal. And there's a beautiful opportunity created by Tox, played underneath from Stake, and it is 2-0.
Stake with his 5th goal of the series. He was very quiet in game 1. He has come alive since then. He has almost as many goals as Magnifico has in the series, and there has not been a shortage of goals. That's the 12th goal these two teams have combined to score in just 2.5 games. One, of course, going to overtime. Here's Stake looking for another, and Atomic there to make the stop.
Well, another opportunity from Tox down to the middle, almost taking over, and it's Yukis that's now trying to escape from that grass that really the Canyons are putting on Magnifico, and they will have to, of course, find a way to break through it, but also respond. Yukis almost trying to sell it from the ceiling. Now Atomic, good shot on target, but there's Tox to save it, and the defense from the Canyons is something that we have to say is very strong, and something that Magnifico is really struggling with at this point.
Tox challenging Emre. Jamway coming on, but Atomic is right there. Stake at midfield, good rotations, and Tox almost got the bump on Yukis. Would have opened up the net for sure, but instead it remains 2-0.
Oh, 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. We have an opportunity created once again. Beautiful 50 right there from Emery, trying to get it down to Atomic as it's now Yukis. Awkward shot, goes to the crossbar. Emery with an open net, and it's 2-1. Magnifico are back into the game.
It is okay to send 2, but somebody's got to get the ball, and neither Stake nor Tox did. Emery there to clean up the mess. 2:05 to go, and still plenty of time for Magnifico. We talked so much about Canyons and their comeback ability. Now we're going to see what Magnifico is made of. Got a bump on Stake, but Tox is right there. Good support on defense for Canyons. This will drop down in front, but Atomic is there for it, and Yukis will play it even further. Indirect for himself, but a little too far away.
Well, another opportunity. Tox almost getting the bump on Emery. That would have meant another goal, but Emery is able to follow it up himself. Gets a good 50 on Stake, who's now trying to find Tox in the middle. Just a defensive power from both teams, standing up firm, and as long as Yukis and Emery don't double commit once again, they have an opportunity, but that's an opportunity created by Zami with a demo on Atomic, and Stake has the 3rd goal.
And even credited with the assist for that challenge. You got the demo there in the corner. You can see the defender shading over, looking for boost. Jamway cut him off. Great field awareness, excellent game IQ, and it works out to a goal for Canyons, a huge insurance goal, extending their lead back to 2 as Jamway will look to set Stake downfield. Could not quite spring him, and now Atomic throwing towards the backboard, and Tox is right there. Looking a lot better are the Canyons this time around, as they don't seem flustered on defense. Atomic with a big drive, stopped by Stake.
We were talking about the skill to be on the same level as an RLCS on RRST, is having that skill to adapt mid-series, and it's definitely the Canyons that have adapted. And now is the question, can Magnifico adapt as well? Because right now they're struggling on defense, on offense, not getting opportunities, but it is Tox that makes it 4-1 from a beautiful missed opportunity on defense from Magnifico.
A lot of eyes on Tox in particular in this tournament. After the way the promotion tournament ended, how would he respond with given another opportunity here in this tournament? And he has responded quite well. Has been excellent in midfield. Couple of goals so far in this series. He has been as big a part of this run through the bracket as anybody on the Canyon squad. They look to be in control of game number 3. They're going to go on match point, barring a monumental collapse. And right now it doesn't look like Magnifico are even going to get another shot on goal for the final 15 seconds. Stake bringing another one, and this will just trickle right through. And more boost taken away, it looked like, deep in the corner. This is textbook from Canyons. The confidence is back. They've got a little hop in their step, and they're 1 win away from a date with, I believe, endpoint if they have secured that. They have not just yet, so we will keep you updated. But yes, Canyons, 1 win away from the upper finals.
And definitely Stake snapped up in this game. That's something that we have to give Beeckmans credit for. Because at the start, you were talking about game 1, Stake being a little bit more quiet, not coming through as much compared to the other 2 of his team. And it is now Magnifico that is really silent. Of course, Atomic coming in with 4 saves, Amri with 3, Yukis with 2. It's of course nice stats to have, but if your defense is still crumbling, if the Canyons are still going to get opportunities to find some goals, find opportunities on that to maybe get even a bump, get a demo, that's way more reason to make sure that your defense is solid. They will always have that second man, as you said before, in defense ready for if such a play is about to develop.
Monkey Moon has just tied things up for BDS in Game 4 of that series against Endpoint. So BDS battling back. How interesting would it be to have another BDS and Canyon showdown? Remember, it was BDS sweeping Canyons in Rival Series League play that propelled, ultimately, BDS into the RLCS. We will keep you updated as that series continues. We are back into game number 4 between Canyons and the upstarts Magnifico. Cinderella going to try to keep dancing along the upper bracket, but they've got to come back from down 2 games to 1. Yukis over towards Emre as Tox will knock him out of the way. And Shamway has an opportunity to set up stake. Emre in a tough spot, but he did as much as he could, and it was enough.
Well, enough is enough, and there is an opportunity, a breakthrough moment from Magnifico. Gets pulled though by Zamui. Perfect control coming out, of course, from the Canyons. That's something that we expected from the start. As now Stake is trying to control it, trying to find Tox. Does get a flip reset, get it past 1. But Emery is able to clear it once again. And that is the defense that we have to see. Make sure that the Canyons don't get the opportunity to get too close to your net and keep striking your stuff, because that is, of course, the main force, the main power for Magnifico. And that's something they will have to play on.
Good block. A pair of blocks by Shamway. Stake makes sure Atomic won't get back. And Canyons are in front again.
This just shows once again, Stack, that damos are also important in this game. If Stake didn't go for that demo, Atomic might have been just in time to get that ball cleared. Was not able to do so. That means a 1-goal deficit for Magnifico already. 4 minutes, of course, remaining. Plenty of time for them to come back, but at the rate the last 2 games have been going, this might be the Canyons already.
Yukis, not a lot of power behind the shot, trying to slip by the defense, but Stake up to the task to make the save. Holds the lead for the Canyons. Yukis looking for Emre, but instead finding the defense. Emre on his way back, so he can't play this ball. Stake does. Yukis in a tough spot up near the backboard, and Atomic will control as Canyons didn't get too greedy there. They probably could have committed a little more, but instead retreat back as a unit. They understand holding this lead is paramount.
Well, of course, 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock. We have Atomic with a beautiful play right there. Gets it past 1, but the backboard is nicely defended. And we're trying to find Yukis, but it's a little bit too far back as now Stake was trying to get a demo once again on Atomic. He's been very iconic for those, realizing that Atomic might be the defensive mastermind for Magnifico, so eliminating him might mean that you just get a free open goal once again.
Stake trying to dribble through the air past Atomic, but he made the stop. This will kick out towards Shamway. Jump ball won by Shamway. Emrys got up there almost. Now Stake trying to play around Emery. He could not. And it will be back towards Shamway. Halfway through Game 4. Must win for Magnifico to stay alive in the upper bracket. Shamway down towards the middle, but nobody streaking forward for Canyons. They are playing very conservatively. That could cost him, and it does! Emre there for his 4th.
Yeah, and this is definitely what they needed once again, Stack. We're talking about them needing to use that mechanical ability to outplay the defense right there. Yukis just on the right side of that ceiling shot, getting it past the first defender, and Emery able to follow it up immediately. This means they are tied up once again. They still got another chance as Atomic is trying to get that ball forward once again. Now Stake, beautiful defense. Emery standing it high. Double commit on defense from Stake and Tox, but they get away with it.
Get away with it for now, but now they've got to flip that switch because they've got to go from playing very conservatively, almost trying to win the game 1-0, or, you know, steal a counterattack goal or something with Magnifico chasing the game, now they're going to go back in attack mode and try to end this game before overtime, as Shamway will lob another one forward, and Yukis is right there. Did not get this ball away from Shamway, but Emery will.
Well, with that clear, of course, they got another opportunity, but right there, Tux clears the ball nicely. Atomic launches it back to the middle, trying to find Emery, who apparently did not have enough boost to go up for that ball. Something sad, of course, that's an opportunity that would have been nice to see, but right there, good clear from Stake. Ball played awkwardly into the middle. Atomic had to challenge that 50, did not get the good touch that he wants as that ball goes to the middle once again. Yukis with a very awkward touch, and there we have Emery finally applying the strategy of Adamo himself to create some relief, some opportunity in defense to try and breathe.
Team BDS has hung on for another. They're going to go to Game 5 with endpoint. This could be headed to Game 5 if Magnifico can find another goal before Canyons. Pinballing around up near the ceiling, Atomic, good read. And Yukis, a decent touch, but he's given possession away, and Emre is right there. Stake got nothing behind the shot. Had he, might have had his 7th goal, and it could have been the goal that put them one series away from this weekend's main event. Yukis, drop down for Emre. You go to the hot hand, but it didn't work out this time.
Well, didn't work out this time around. We now, of course, have Atomic trying to launch that ball into the top right corner. That was some precision coming out. Hitting that side post, of course, means that he was slightly off, but just that angle was nutty as it can be. And right there we have Yukis trying to play that ball down. Emery not able to follow it up. Still on one line. Atomic trying to get an opportunity. Good bump right there. Atomic almost doing it himself, but oh no! The crossbar and the side post. And Mr. Ruthless once again on Atomic.
A golden opportunity right there for Magnifico, and they may be kicking themselves, especially if they give up a quick goal here. We've seen so many kickoff goals today, and almost one immediately following the kickoff from Shamway. But now Atomic quickly back the other way, and Tox strafing across makes the save.
Well, with that save, they have another opportunity. Now it is Zamir trying to clear that ball, trying to follow it up himself as well. But Atomic realizes he has the time, he has the space to use it, control the ball, and get that ball to the middle. Tox, of course, gets a good 50. Now Emery trying to do the exact same. That's a ball to the middle. Yukis almost there to get it in, but it is Zamir that's able to follow up with nice defense. And that's something that, of course, the Canyons are known for.
Emery just got there before getting demoed. Saved the series for Magnifico. Now Atomic trying to force one through Shamway. No, and Yukis could not set one up for Emery. He was all the way back. Stake over Emery, but he could not finish.
That would have been a beautiful finish, of course, for the Canyons. But right now, we have Magnifico trying to push forward, trying to get that second goal in order to take this to Game 5. Now Yukis, good interception, does get a good 50. And there is Emery already clearing his guild of getting that 50 towards, of course, the goal. Atomic, beautiful save, plays it to the side once again. Now Atomic down to Yukis. That's an opportunity, it's going in. We're going to Game 5.
We are going to Game 5 after an overtime winner from Yukis. The teams have traded overtimes in this series, and again, they caught Canyons just getting a little too greedy. Their hand stuck in the cookie jar, and it's Yukis who saves the series on multiple occasions for Magnifico, and both series on this part of the bracket going to Game 5 with a shot at Barca on the line for whoever wins the next series.
Well, of course, we will be in a front row seat for that one, would you not, Stax? And that would be, of course, a series to behold, but this series on itself has been absolutely insane. We have the players already trying to decide who's actually moving on into that semi-finals to make sure that they get one step closer to qualify for that main event this weekend. That's going to be also important in this Game 5. Who gets that first lead? Who gets that win of momentum? Gets that good start and that good shift?
Cox will intercept at midfield, try to spring Canyons downfield, but nobody was there, and Stake was taken out of the play. So that is how Game 5 begins, and now the nerves in full effect here with both teams so close to an opportunity they've been battling for quite a while over the past couple of days. And of course, all the lead up to this tournament. Emre, oh, he spikes down on this, made things a little awkward, but Yukis will burn a lot of boost to buy his teammates time. Emre was not able to get over for some boost, however, so could be in a tough spot as Shamway will bank one in. Backboard, Tox on his way, and the save made by Emre and Atomic. They both had to jump. Emre trying to stay on the backboard, and he does. And a good thing because he's able to stop that last shot.
When you were talking about nerves, we see here the confidence from both teams is definitely showing us that these guys might be slightly nervous, but it's not really showing in their playstyle right now. Stake is trying to control that ball, get it forwards. Atomic does get a good dig. Is now trying to send it far. Zamir has to waste a lot of boost in order to get a touch on that ball. Means he has to rotate out now. And it is something that Magnifico have been doing well. They realize what ball to 50, what ball to create some time and opportunity on for their team to get more boost, get into a position and start that counterplay.
Canyons have been in this spot a million times. They're going to be very comfortable as Tox almost puts them on the board and Stake could not get around on a shot to follow up. They're keeping the pressure on Magnifico, but now Magnifico have broken out. Atomic waiting for boost at midfield, finding none, so he has to go all the way back. And Stake will find Shamway downfield, looking for a double, not getting there because of the defense of Atomic. 3 minutes gonna feel like an eternity for these two teams as they battled so far to a scoreless tie.
Scoreless so far, but there is Tox making it 1-0 already. Defense, might you be sleeping? Definitely not. That was a perfectly placed shot, awkward angle as well, as Tox just put it in the bottom right corner. Emery got so close, Stax, but sadly enough, not close enough.
Just a little bit of hesitation there from Emre on his decision to go up, and it proved fatal. Perhaps for Magnifico, we will see. 240 still remaining. A long time for Canyons to try and hold on. An insurance goal would help, and it bounces around. Emre, a lucky save as that bounced around off him twice. Now Atomic looking to tie. No, Emre has a lot to shoot at, and he gets by Shamway.
I mean, Magnifico will be definitely happy about this one. Yuka's beautiful flip reset to get it to the middle to Atomic, and then Emery at the last possible second, getting it into the goal was, of course, something nice to see. But that goal right there before, I mean, the Canyons must feel really bad to see that. I think it was Samuel blocking it himself after that beautiful shot to make it into a 1-1. This might really hurt mentally, and that's something they will have to counter immediately, as we see it, that Samuel and Tox are immediately trying to find a response right here. Stake now trying to get a good 50. Does play the ball to the side as Tox is trying to control it, but he loses control, and that's a ball down the field once again as Atomic and Yukas are trying to make something happen.
Yukas ran out of boost, had to give up on the play. Now Shamway pop one up looking for Tox. Yukas is there, but he doubled with Atomic. Communication breakdown could be costly, but nobody to follow up the play for Canyons, and Emre controlled as long as he could. He and Atomic both up again, though. Somebody's got to call the other off. The hero ball coming out for Magnifico after they have been brilliant in this series. Emre does not opt for Atomic, instead throwing it at the back wall, and Tox was there waiting for it.
Yeah, this is definitely because of the consistency of the indirect passes, but right there, that's an opportunity created. Samuel able to make it 2-1, and that defense right there from Emery putting it into the top left corner and out was something to, well, take notes of.
Yeah, and you've got a team that's prone to double commits like this Magnifico squad has been in this game. That demo sweeping across the goal line is crucial, and it works out to perfection for Canyons. And a whiff by Atomic along the back wall almost cost them another goal. They're still alive in this series, but they got to find an answer with just over a minute remaining. Emre downfield, as Yuka said, Atomic went for the same ball. And Tox will throw this downfield. Atomic out of the play. Yukas, all he can do is play it to his own back wall. He's got Tox chasing him around. And Atomic will bomb it away, but nobody downfield for Magnifico. Yukas and Emre started to jump again. And so Emre doesn't have any boost, and he can't follow the play up. Those double commits have been costly, not just for positioning, but the boost that's been wasted as well. Now Emre, though, to the ceiling. Got his reset, but Stake is there. Atomic, no. Downway with another save.
Yeah, those plays are, of course, very dangerous. They put you in an awkward position, as you said before, and that could mean the game. But right there, it's Yukis trying to force a play, trying to force a shot. But now Zamri in control, does get a beautiful touch, and that concludes things, Stax. Oh, right there, Atomic nailed to the ground of the awkward ledge, a little bit tilted, so he was not able to jump. And that makes it 3-1.
And Magnifico going to be looking back at all the mistakes they made around midfield. Constant double commits. Unless they can get a real quick answer. But that's got to feel like the dagger. Emre, desperation attempt. Could not control past Samway. Canyons, it was not pretty, but when has it ever been with these boys? They're going to go to the upper finals with a shot at the weekend main event when this ball touches the ground. And waiting for them will be, I believe it has been decided. I think it was Endpoint, but we will wait for confirmation. It is, in fact, Endpoint as they survive that series of BDS. So it's going to be Canyons and Endpoint with a shot at Barca in the weekend on the line.
Well, one step closer, one more game to win for either the Canyons or Endpoint, but that will of course be the next series, would it not, Stax?
It will indeed be the next series. Any final thoughts as we look back on what was a very spirited effort and an admirable effort, of course, from Magnifico, opening a lot of eyes here?
Yeah, definitely that first game was something notable. Winning 4-1 over the Canyons was, well, to say remarkable at least, but then of course you have the powerhouse, the Canyons, answering back with game 2 and game 3, taking those ones very decisively. And game 4 was a little bit of a dark horse, and then of course in the end it is the Canyons that came through, concluded this series, and Magnifico will now have to fight through that lower bracket. But I think they really have a fair chance of getting to that main event.
If they can play like they did here in this series against a very tough opponent in Canyons, they've got as good a shot as anybody, but it will be a climb throughout that lower bracket because you look at where they're going to end up. They have to go through quite a bit. I'm even trying to find exactly where they're going to drop. It is, yeah, they're going to be 3 matches away now instead of 1 match. It's just a tough reset for them mentally, but we will keep you updated as they go through. And when we come back, we will see this Canyons team in action one more time. At least one more time. They will take on Endpoint. Shot at the weekend main event on the line coming up after this.
Well, one step closer, and it will be, of course, not me anymore, sadly enough, Stax, but you will still be here, right?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Would not miss it for the world.
Yeah, definitely.